Have you ever been bent and determined to do something, to be so focused on what you're trying to communicate? Have you ever tried to get your point of view across so passionately that you were just so bent and determined to make sure that you were heard? There's a story in the book of Mark where we see that Jesus really catches the perseverance of a woman who comes to him for help. We find this in Mark chapter 7, beginning with verse 24. Jesus left that place and went to the vicinity of Tyre. He entered a house and did not want anyone to know it, yet he could not keep his presence secret. In fact, as soon as she heard about it, a woman whose little daughter was possessed by an evil spirit came and fell at his feet. This woman was a Greek, born in Syrophoenicia. She begged Jesus to drive the demon out of her daughter. Now, that's the text, and we read that information. But here's what the writer, I believe, is trying to communicate here, because we go into this little conversation that this Greek, this woman, has with Jesus. She's not just coming in and saying, Jesus, would you please heal my daughter? But she is coming at Jesus out of desperation, out of panic, out of love and concern, and she is bent and determined that Jesus is going to heal her daughter. And so what is that just kind of boils up and overflows and spills out into that room where she is with Jesus? Her belief, her willing to have faith in Jesus. When we read stories in the Bible about that there were lots of people who did not believe in Jesus. Some of the church leaders, some of the Pharisees chose not to believe in Jesus. But here was a Greek woman, someone who was considered outside the circle, who is bent and determined to communicate to Jesus that she believes and that she is coming at Jesus with this intensity. Why do I sense that? Why do I feel the intensity? Because here's what Jesus says to her at first. Well, he says in verse 27, "First, let the children eat all they want," he told her, "for it is not right to take the children's bread and toss it to their dogs." He was referring to the fact that his ministry, his focus had come to God's people, the Israelites, to the Jews. That was his focus there. That was his mission. But we also know that Jesus came to save the whole world. But in that moment, he is saying to her, look, why are you coming at me with this? What are you doing? But her faith and her persistence is communicated clearly in this next sentence. Listen to this. So here's what the woman says to Jesus, speaking directly to him. She says, "Yes, Lord," she replied, "but even the dogs under the table eat the children's crumbs." In other words, even people that don't deserve to be there, even people who shouldn't be there around Jesus, even though there are people that don't fit within the typical cultural alignments and frameworks, even they get the crumbs from the others. And so she was saying that, yes, Jesus came to minister and he had a mission there to the Jews, but even these other people, don't they deserve even the scraps from the table? Even the food that was not consumed or discarded, can't they even get that? And you see, that was in their culture. That was a really great example because only certain folks could come to the table and get food in most Jewish homes. Usually it was the father and the sons, and the women and the young girls, and sometimes the young boys too, the young children, they had to even eat in another room. But you see, Jesus saw her faith and saw her persistence and saw the fact that she was bent and determined to have her daughter healed. And so when Jesus saw that, this was his response. Then he told her, "For such a reply, you may go. The demon has left your daughter." The demon is gone. And when the mother went home, she found her child lying on the bed, and the demon was gone. You see, Jesus is celebrating that faith. Do you have a faith that Jesus could celebrate? Do you have a faith that's bent and determined at all costs to follow Jesus, to be obedient to his words, to live a life that shows that you are for God and not against him? Do you have a faith that's going to stand the test when persecution or trouble or violence comes? Are you going to stand firm in your faith? Or are you going to walk away and say, "Oh, I don't know any of that. I don't want to be a part of that"? See, that's what Jesus is looking for. He's looking for followers who are faithful. Have a great day. Blessings to you.